Welcome to Alton Park, the scene of rounds 7, 8 and 9 of the Ginetta Junior Championship. We are due to have an absolute blast here this weekend. Alton offers some unique challenges for these young drivers. Rocco Cornell is sat on pole position. He's won 5 of 5 races thus far this season. Can he replicate his success? We'll see. Fred, 15 years old, the Ginetta Junior Scholar. What a promising start to your racing career.
Yeah, it's been a good leg up the scholarship, and it's been going quite well so far. A few mistakes, but just keep learning and progressing throughout the year. It'll be good, yeah.
Of course, mistakes are normal as a driver, especially in a series like this designed to help you develop. Do you feel as though you're learning a lot as you go?
Oh yeah, massively. I made quite a big mistake at Silverstone, which I've hopefully learned on. We'll find out. But yeah, it's really good, and I've raced quite a lot before, but the cars is quite a bit different, and you're still learning loads, so it's good.
Well, you clearly have a knack for it. You got pole on your debut. How do you see the rest of the season unfolding?
It's hard to tell, you know. I think the speed should be pretty good everywhere, so we should be fine for the win at most tracks, but yeah, we'll see, won't we?
Well, you and your teammate are both looking strong. You're sat in P4 just 3 points behind him. Do you think you'll close up that gap?
No comment, but I'm a bit further back than I'd like to be in the championship due to a few crashes and technical issues, but yeah, we should be all right.
There's still time. Best of luck. Thank you.
Thanks.
Rocco Cornell started from pole position in race 1 here at Oulton Park after no qualifying times were set this morning, and the grid was based upon championship standings. That meant that his nearest championship rival, Alfie Slater, started right alongside and would make an early bid for the race lead, keen to stop Rocco Cornell's winning streak as soon as he could. There was drama though for Reeve Lake on the opening lap, who ran wide at Island Bend, clattered back onto the circuit and ended up pointing the wrong way. Eventually Reeve would retire to the pit lane with bodywork damage. There was an almighty battle going on for 4th position. Scott Lindblom had briefly got himself up ahead of the 15 car of Joseph Smith. Joseph got him back briefly at Old Hall Corner, whilst at the head of the field, bang on mid-race distance, Rocco Cornell decided that was the time to move back ahead of his teammate Alfie Slater. Slater though wasn't following the same script as his championship leading teammate and very quickly got the lead back at Island Bend, and this then, with the battling that was going on amongst the leading 3, started to allow the next group of cars to close in. Cornell hit the front again at Old Hall Corner, bringing this time with him the Fred Green Elite Motorsport car. Josh Watts had an unfortunate moment in the Shell hairpin that led to broken rear suspension and ultimately retirement. The lead battle got more and more intense by the lap. Scott Lindblom almost saw a route through into 2nd position, but Alfie Slater was able to close the door in the face of his teammate, who desperately wanted to work with Slater on the last lap to try and catch the race leader. That though would not happen. Cornell managed to hang on to the win. Slater 2nd, whilst it was almost a dead heat for 3rd. Scott Lindblom just about managing to fend off Fred Green for that 3rd position, making it another R Racing 1-2-3, headed by the points leader, Rocco Cornell.
Scott, that was nail-biting right until the end. Were you feeling the pressure?
You know, not really, to be honest. Yeah, it was very fun race, and also when it's quite tight like that, and when I have several cars behind and I have to focus a lot all around, you know, it was very fun, and with that close of a finish, it's a bit nail-biting.
For us watching as well, now these G40s can follow each other so closely. How do you manage to do that whilst keeping a cool head and managing not to touch each other?
Yeah, I don't know, to be honest. It's very difficult, I know that.
Alfie, continuing a very successful run so far this season. P2, congratulations.
Yeah, thank you. It was a good race. Just trying to get points at the moment, trying to close the gap, which didn't happen that race, but it should hopefully happen in the next couple. But yeah, it was a good race.
Rocco has been flying. Obviously, he's a very close competitor for you. How are you going to manage to catch up to him?
I've definitely got the pace. The car's really quick. I think we work well together, so we're pretty fast at the moment. Rocco's also pretty quick, which is hard, but yeah, we're just going to try and beat him, I guess.
That is the goal, but a well-deserved P2. Congratulations. Rocco, 6 from 6. What a feat.
Yeah, really good, really happy. It was a good race. Were some difficult points because I made some mistakes. Alfie was really fast as well, so there were some moves. Then Fred came closer and the whole pack came closer, so it was a bit scary to come, but eventually it went well, and yeah, I'm happy.
You must have to have so much trust in your car. Like you said, it's quite scary. You were following so closely for a minute there.
Yeah, it was good, but that's racing, so that's how we do it. And yeah, you need to have the skills to do it, and then we just drove away. And yeah, as I said, like the rest came quite fast, so it was a bit scary, but yeah, eventually it went well, and I finished first, and that's what I wanted.
Welcome to Oulton Park, where yesterday Rocco proved he is the driver to beat with a 6th consecutive win in race 1. He's lining up today in pole position alongside teammate Alfie Slater. Can Slater beat out Rocco for top honours? Let's find out.
The second Ginetta Junior race of the weekend here at Alton Park was dramatic. Let's go with that. It started pretty serenely, certainly for Rocco Coronel, who held on to the lead from pole position, but an early challenge from Fred Green against Alfie Slater at Old Hall Corner led to a tiny touch, just enough to lose those two cars' momentum down the avenue, and that really was the last they saw of Rocco Coronel. There may have been an opportunity for them to work together and close back in the early stages, but they weren't interested in doing that, and a battle for second place ensued. Fred Green side by side once again with Alfie Slater into Lodge Corner, this time cleanly made the move into second position and would stay there for much of the race, although a 5-second track limits penalty would head his way midway through the 20 minutes. Alfie Slater really wasn't getting the rub of the green in this race. He struggled in this battle with Joseph Smith to keep the 15 car behind, eventually Smith making the move at Old Hall Corner, and they made further contact then down the avenue. Then Slater tangled with Cronin. That opened the door for Scott Lindblom, but both Slater and Lindblom had picked up 10-second penalties for being out of position at the start of the race. It all came to a head, rather, on the final lap of the race as Smith and Lindblom banged doors down through Cascades Corner. That opened the door for Alfie Slater to get up the inside and bring with him George Proudfoot-Naldo, who was on course for a first ever podium in the class. That, though, was put in real danger through Hislops with some door banging with Slater. Smith went around, Lindblom was on the grass. It all properly kicked off, but some way behind Rocco Coronel, who picked up a 7th victory of the season to extend his already healthy championship lead.
Fred, Ginetta Junior scholarship and doing exceptionally well, proving your point. Congratulations on P2.
Thank you. Bit of a scrappy race, but yeah, I ended up P2, so not too bad.
We saw a lot of drivers taking a lot of curb. Was it quite competitive in how much space was on the track?
Yeah, because the track's quite narrow, you have to sort of maximise the track that you have and like be opportunistic on the curbs. Actually, it was a bit too opportunistic and got a track limit penalty, but yeah, luckily it didn't affect me.
Yeah, very well done to pull enough of a gap there. Now, looking forwards, Rocco had pulled a very big gap in P1. How are you going to manage to close that up?
Very good question. I don't know, I've been thinking about it for a while. Hopefully we get a good conclusion, but yeah, I'll try my best in the next race to hang on to him and give him a good run for his money, but we'll see.
George, an exceptionally well done race, especially given how tight it was out there.
Yeah, it was very chaotic for the for the last few laps. I was just most defending I think I've ever had to do in my life.
These cars can follow so close to each other, as we saw out on track. When someone is right in your rearview mirror, can you keep a cool head?
Yeah, well, that's always the aim. You just got to keep calm, just sort of. It's sort of, once you defend, pretend they're not there, but you also need to kind of know where they're at, obviously, but if you're defending, they can't go down the inside, so yeah, you just got to, yeah, just keep a cool head, just focus in front.
And you've set a really good rhythm for going into race 3. Do you think you'll be able to get another podium?
Yeah, hopefully, just got to go with the lead pack and try push away, so yeah, looking forward to it.
Rocco, 7 from 7, what a feat.
Yeah, really good. Pace was amazing. Start was really good. I already had a big gap, and then after just focusing on doing quali laps all the time, and then don't make mistakes, take all the apexes, brake late, much speed, much rolling, and yeah, just break away from the rest, and then just focus on yourself. Don't look back, and after hopefully win the race.
How do you stay motivated when you're winning every single race? What's next? What's the next thing to push for?
For sure championship, but yeah, you always need to be hungry for the next, because otherwise you could just stop with racing if you don't. Just always stay in P1, always try to go to P1, and then just yeah, full push every time.
It's the final race of what has been a jam-packed weekend at Alton Park with the Ginetta Junior Championship. Rocco Coronel has dominated every single race, but in race 3 of the weekend, can he be knocked off his perch? Let's find out.
The third and final race for the Ginetta Juniors at Alton Park took place in damp and tricky conditions, and it was Rocco Coronel once again who led the field away from pole position. Fred Green was keen to get himself onto his tail, but lost out briefly to George Proudfoot-Nalder at the first corner. There was a little bit of paint traded further back, but generally a clean run through the first few corners. At the end of the opening lap, though, Scott Lindblom found out just how treacherous the conditions were with a spin at Lodge, from which he was lucky to emerge with no damage. There was an early safety car period for Katrina E, whose car was in the gravel at Druids. Upon the restart, George Proudfoot-Nalder was trying to get involved in the lead battle, but ultimately didn't seem to quite have the pace in the wet that he'd had earlier in the weekend. There was another safety car period, and as the safety car was scrambled, Colin Cronin had a spin at Druids corner. He would then move back to fourth behind the safety car, where he would take the restart for a one-lap dash to the checkered flag. Rocco Coronel looked as though he had the situation under control. Fred Green and Max Cuthbert were keeping close behind, whilst Ethan Lennon got into a bit of a banging match with George Proudfoot-Nalder at the Hislop chicane. Up front, though, Fred Green was mounting a challenge, and into the very final corner of the final lap of the race, he made his move round the outside. He found the grip on the wet racing line, and Fred Green, by 0.03 of a second, held on to claim his first victory in the championship and stop Rocco Coronel's winning streak. Behind them, there was drama between many drivers, really, including Joseph Smith and Freddie Lloyd, as they failed to finish a dramatic final race of the weekend for the Ginetta Junior Championship.
Max P3 in what was a very chaotic race. How did you manage?
Yeah, it was crazy. Got some places at the start and then safety cars. If it wasn't for that, I think I would have got maybe P1, hopefully.
Well, you clearly have the pace. How difficult is it to stay out of trouble when everyone's all over the place?
Yeah, half the track was drying at the end and then the rest of it was like still really slippy.
Where do you look for the grip? Did you find there were certain lines that favoured you?
Yeah, you just drive everywhere and hope it's dry.
You've done an excellent job thus far. Is this your first podium of the season? Yeah, it's great to see you on the podium in 2025. Do you think there'll be more to come?
Definitely.
Rocco, 3/1000ths of a second between you and P1. It hurts.
Nah, just he made a perfect move. Didn't know there was grip there, so yeah, he was just really smart. I had just a bit of wheel spin, so yeah, amazing move. I couldn't have done that, so yeah, congrats to him. But P2 is good as well. Made a good weekend, some good points for the championship, and yeah, that's what we want.
You've had an exceptional weekend and indeed the start to the season in whole. How are you feeling now that you feel like you've got some real challenge underneath you?
Yeah, it's really fun because of course you need some challenge, because otherwise yeah, it's no fun. But I like that the other drivers are fast as well, so I can learn from them as well for next year and the year after. Yeah, just for a good race.
What a weekend you've had. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Fred, our Ginetta Junior scholar and now a race winner. How happy are you?
Yeah, really happy. I didn't actually know I won until I came back in here and I got told. So that was a pleasant surprise. But yeah, I enjoy the wet conditions, and that proved then.
Just 0.03 of a second between you and Rocco. Can you talk us through that incredible move?
Yeah, I knew that the outside would favour me, and I knew that I'd have to defend it in case I wanted to try the inside. So I thought I'd have a good chance, to be honest, and I had a few lock-ups on the way in, but managed to survive, and yeah, got the drive out the corner and won, so it's good.
Well, it has been an exceptional weekend of racing here at Oulton Park with the Ginetta Junior Championship. Rocco Coronel has had his winning streak snatched away in the final race by Fred Green. We'll be back in Norfolk at Snetterton in a few weeks.